Good morning. All 12 of you, I think. Hang on one second. Are you really interested in my video game, or are you just here for, just to look at my beautiful face? This camera can't resist these big. In case you didn't see my last video, I'm making Mage Light, a top-down adventure game where you can control light. It's been a while since my last update, and in that time I've hit several walls and rewritten the game at least twice. As much as I tried, my game always has the same problem. It isn't fun. It just feels like I'm making a fake donut. Doesn't matter how well you paint it, it's still gonna taste like wax. So in between getting a cat, moving to a new house, and getting married, I've been trying to make my game taste good. Whenever starting a new project, I tend to do things in the following order. 1, come up with a cool story I want to tell or a game idea. 2, make a character who can move around and can attack. 3, spend a metric butt-ton of time and money making and remaking art, music, and sound effects. Realize that I'm a bad artist and I should never have even tried because all I'll ever be able to do is make a crappy picture on Twitter that everyone will swipe by, and I'm selfish and narcissistic for ever thinking I'd ever be able to make something worthy of attention for, oh, I've got a good idea for a game. And so far I've been stuck in this cycle of not being able to finish a game, but not this time. Even if it sucks, which it will, I am going to finish a game. So hopefully, to keep myself on track this time, I've come up with a structure that I want to try out, and I'm calling it the 4-block structure, TM. Block 1, outline. The whole point of this block is just to create a plan/game design document, which I did, and it's boring, so let's move on. Block 2, systems. This is where I build the code base and underlying systems of the game that are going to be required for the gameplay loop. All the art is just going to be blocks and triangles and basic shapes that I'm not going to spend a lot of time on because they're going to be replaced in the next step. So block 2, the systems, is done when the game is fun and there's no major systems that need to be added. Block 3 is art. Take the fun but ugly result of block 2 and make it fun but pretty. Background art, character animations, icons, music, sound effects, all that happens here in this big, fatty, fat chunker of a block. It's going to take forever, and I'm going to allocate at least twice as much time to this chunk. Block 4 is content. This is all about utilizing the systems from block 2 to make things that you can actually do. This is designing the puzzles, writing the characters' dialogue, putting items in the shop, making the cutscenes, tying everything together, that sort of stuff. So that's the basic outline that I'm going to follow. And I realize that a lot of these sections are going to need like art and code, but the idea is to separate out my focus so that I can make a game in this order. Make something fun, make it pretty, then make it bigger. My current goal is to have a playable demo for you lovely people to tear apart in August, and to meet that deadline, I have to be done with block 2 by the end of March. Let's see if I can do it. So, as I mentioned before, I am now into block 2, which is systems design, and I have a few things to show you. I've decided that the ability to push and pull light from light sources leads pretty neatly into puzzles. The idea is for you to use your light to power machines, turn turbines, solve puzzles, and ultimately light up all the houses in your town. These kinds of puzzles seem to always be built off of just good pieces that can fit together in multiple different ways and can produce interesting results. So I got to working on the different pieces that could fit together to make puzzles. So the first machine is the lamppost, which is the exact same as it was before. It's a lamppost, it stores light. You can pull light from it or you can push light into it. So next I needed a connector. I'm going to go for a sort of steampunkish vibe, so I thought it would be cool instead of using wires if I used like metal pipes. These are pipes. Trust me, wait for block 3. It'll look good. When a lit lamppost is connected to a pipe, the pipe lights up and becomes active. Next, I needed something to be powered. And I thought the simplest kind of machine for a puzzle loop would be a door. The door is only open when it's connected to a lamppost that has enough light to power it. So if a lamppost is connected to a pipe, which is connected to the door, and the lamppost has enough light to open the door, then the door will open. So next I added a valve, which acts as a sort of on-off switch by only allowing power to move in the direction that it's turned, either horizontal or vertical. So here's the first puzzle. Pause the video to see if you can figure it out. Next, I added a clock, which turns on and off at specific time intervals, and you can see that opening and closing the door here. Then I added a battery, which you connect to a pipe to charge up, and then you can push it around, and then use it to power something else. Finally, I added a piston, which is still really buggy, but it does this. So that's pretty cool. And if I set it up on the clock, I get this. Huh? I mean, that looks pretty cool. You could, like, smush something. This is kind of sad, but this is already, like, 10 times more fun than the previous version of the game. And I had been working on that for, like, a year. So... Alright, so there are still a few bugs left in this system, but I think it's enough for me to make the puzzles I want for the demo. So the next system that I want to work on is the area management and save system. I had already pretty much implemented this in my old version of the game, but I'm going to be doing it differently, so that shouldn't take too long because I have something to reference. So hopefully I'll be able to implement the modify machine system as well. So the modify machine system is basically the player is going to be the apprentice of an engineer. So each of these machines, you're going to be able to modify them. So open up like a panel and there will be like dials and knobs to be able to adjust things. For example, on the clock, you would adjust how quickly the clock is moving, or for the lamppost, you could adjust, how much light the lamppost can hold, which gives a lot more depth to the kind of puzzles that I can create, because not only do you have the different machines working with each other, but you can also modify each machine to work slightly differently. I'm going to try and do like one devlog a month, and my goal is to have a demo by August, so that's like 6 months-ish away. So we'll see how that goes. MageLight has a Twitter account now, which I don't know how to use, and I have hardly posted anything. So you probably, there's no point, really. If you're subscribed, then you should probably stop. The video's over now. Go away.